کاوش مدیا.
A fourth element is that nationalism. The Iranian regime has many flaws and domestic flaws, but I think that the Iranian regime is perceived by many Iranians as finally as the regime that restored Iran's national honor, that Iran is a respectable country all over the world. In Hebrew we say Iran is counted. That is, no one dares today to dismiss Iran, humiliate Iran, treat Iran as a third world country, the way it has been treated since the early 19th century, including, by the way, during the period of the Shah, when Iranians felt that they were sort of a subordinated state to the United States. I think that the success of the Iranian regime in transforming Iran in not only to a regional power, but into a country that is respected or feared by everyone in the world, gave the regime lots of credit. One thing, and also the policies against Iran are viewed by many Iranians, in my view, as attacks not on the regime but on Iran, and therefore they also enhance the support of the regime.
Now I would like to address the issue of toppling the regime. Again, it's not if it's possible. We must topple this regime, because if this regime remains in the long run, they will always outsmart us. They will outsmart the United States, and they will keep pursuing their strategic goal, regional hegemony on the way to world hegemony. This is the real strategy of the regime. In this world where when they have hegemony in the Middle East, we don't have a place. The Mediterranean is, if I remember correctly, on the speedometer, is 4 kilometers from here. We can walk and start swimming. Since this is the alternative, if this regime is not toppled, a full-fledged war with Iran is unavoidable. We shall win, but the price will be very high.
I have to say, I think the speakers so far have not addressed what I think is one of the main elements of the Islamic Republic's resilience. And I think it's quite resilient. I think I agree with Professor Litvak. I think the Iranian regime is quite stable at the moment. I think it's probably as stable as it's been. The sanctions have worsened its situation, but I think the regime is still resilient. I think Iran is still resilient. I think the secret, or one of the secrets to this resilience, is that there is no single Iranian regime. I think that there has always been a struggle for the last 40 years, ever since the Islamic Republic was established. There's always been a struggle between at least two voices, both claiming to be the authentic interpretation of the Islamic ideology. And historical circumstance cast that struggle in different lights. Initially, at least by the West, it was seen as a kind of a Cold War thing. We've got the good guys and the bad guys, the hardliner, conservative fanatics, and the would-be moderates. I don't think that was the story. In different stages, when Iran had to face, again, existential threats, like the first decade of the Islamic Republic, most of these people closed ranks and presented a united facade because, as everyone here has said before me, Iranians are first and foremost patriots before they are anything else. Because I think if you look at Iran as a monolith, if you credit the supreme leader with sole executive authority, if you tend to see the Islamic Republic as ideologically pure, with a clear, where the word fanatic was used before, the clear fanatic message, I think you're not paying attention to what makes Iran strong. What makes Iran strong is that the message of the Islamic Republic is much more flexible and much more pragmatic and much more rooted in what they consider to be real-life concerns than we usually give them credit for. And if you want another way of putting it, the Islamic Republic is much more worldly than we tend to see it. The Islamic Republic understands itself to be firmly ensconced within its developing, emerging circumstances. It considers its effectiveness to be a measure of, or it considers relevance to be a measure of its effectiveness. It calibrates and recalibrates its response constantly. It is everything but unidimensional.
آنچه در مورد ما میگویند